What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of our channel. This video is especially for anybody who already bought our polishing kit, anybody who's thinking about buying one, but also if you're thinking about learning polishing, you don't have to go specifically for this setup. This video will help you to understand polishing. With my 15 years experience in machine polishing, and especially as we do polishing courses for people, I can clearly see that most people do the same mistake over and over again. So a lot of people believe that once you have compound of this or that brand, or maybe pad or maybe polisher, this is where the results are guaranteed because somebody on Facebook or somewhere else on internet said this is the best compound. It definitely doesn't work like that. First of all, what you need to practice is your technique. After that, once you have proper technique, you can search for products and then you will see the benefits of that. So polishing is a skill. Whatever setup you have, that's only a small part of it. Whatever you do with it, that's where you get in the results. I will give you good comparison. If you buy 10,000 euro worth of camera and you don't know how to shoot proper photos, you're never gonna be as good as professional photographer. So first of all, let's start from the polishing kit that we sold money last year, or maybe you're thinking about buying one. I will explain you what you have in it. So of course you have polishing machine from ADBL. This polisher is 9mm throw dual action polisher. Of course, with every polishing kit you have some sort of setup of polishing pads. Could be from this brand, could be from other brand. That doesn't really matter at this stage. As well as you have three compounds, you have fine compound, medium compound and heavy good compound. And in every kit you'll get also panel wipe, which I will explain you after in the video why do you use it. So let's unbox the polisher. It comes in nice carry-on bag. You have your warranty and manual here. Then you have the polisher itself. So as a standard, the polisher comes with 5-inch backing plate, but also right in this pocket there is 3-inch backing plate that you can simply change over. Here you have the spanner for it, you have Allen key, and you have a set of spare brushes. Changing over the backing plate is very simple. All you do is put your spanner in there, hold it, and she's ready to go. So now we know what we have in our polishing kit. Also what we need is, we definitely need some microfiber cloths and we need some sort of inspection torch. You can get proper inspection torch, but also you can get some sort of LED head torch. Make sure the light on that torch is focused like this one. So now we're pretty much ready for practice. However, before you start to polish the car, make sure you prep it properly. Here is a video that I've done a while ago that shows the process step by step, very good explanation of products and the process itself. Follow that, prep your car, and then you're ready for polishing. So now we're ready to go to practice polishing. For practice, I would recommend to use a medium polishing pad, medium compound. You have dual action polisher. This polisher is one of the gentlest one you can use, so there's no really fear of causing any damage unless you hit the paint with the polisher. But otherwise, this polisher, the way it's made, it doesn't create heat on the paint. So what I'd say is, if you haven't used polishers before or you're struggling with results, start from very basics, which is how to operate this polisher correctly. So first of all, attach the pad to the backing plate. Make sure it's somewhere in the center, and now she's ready to go. So first of all, let's start from the amount of compound that you need for your polishing. And basically, there is no set amount for it. You might hear people saying that you have to put 3 drops, 5 drops, 4 drops, 3.5, etc. That doesn't apply to real life. What you need to consider is compound gives you abrasivity and lubrication, so you need to have definitely enough lubrication to do your polishing. For start, I'm gonna just use 4 drops of compound. So when I start to do the polishing, I will know whether this is enough or too much, and for the next set of passes I will adjust it. So first of all, let's start from the size of the area that we're gonna polish at the time. For start, what I recommend is start from the bonnet. This is not the most damaged panel, but it's sort of the easiest panel to work on with polisher. The most optimal size of the area that I find when I do polishing is basically 16 by 16 inches, which is roughly 3 by 3 size of your pad. So mark your area that you're going to do the polishing. A little tip when you start in polishing, work on flat surfaces. Don't try to mark the area from here to there because you'll be working on the edge in that case. Try to stay away from edges as much as you can, as this is very sort of danger area for polishers. Now we need to spread the compound and prime the pad a little bit, so we start from fourth or second gear. For spreading the compound, one pass like that is enough. So now before we go any forward, you need to understand how this polisher operates. Basically, it provides two motions. Orbital motion, as you can see here, and rotary motion. In the case of this machine, the orbital motion is forced by the machine. The rotary motion is caused by the orbital motion. So in practice, what that means is the higher the speed of the polisher you have at the time, the higher the speed of rotary motion will be. However, if you apply too much pressure on the polisher while you're doing the job, or you will start to tilt the polisher, the rotary motion will slow down or stop. And the main thing with these polishers is you have to maintain the rotary motion all the time. And in the next clip, I will show you what I exactly mean by that. On this clip, you can see that polisher is working smoothly. We have rotary motion in place all the time. And this is how the polisher should operate. If you want to expect results, this is how you should work. However, in this clip here, you can clearly see once I start to tilt the polisher or apply too much pressure on it, the rotary motion stops or slow down. In results, you're not getting progress and the finish might be really bad. You might get holograms or you might get hazy finish. This is the way most of people start to operate these polishers, and the fact that you have orbital motion in place all the time, it looks like you're doing the job. However, this is not the correct way, and I will show you a simple way how to overcome that. To have more control on your rotary motion, what you need to do is put some marker on the backing plate. In this clip here, you can see when I use the polisher correctly, I apply even pressure on it, the backing plate rotates all the time. However, when I start to tilt it or apply too much pressure, the backing plate stops. With the marker, you will be very easily able to chase that. So before we go on forward, what I recommend you practice this for as long as you need to, until you get the perfect control on the polisher. Once the polisher will work nice and smoothly for you, then you can go for the next step. So if you're happy now with the way polisher works, you need to understand another thing. What exactly happens when you're doing the polishing? There is no magic in it. In real life, what happens is, once you have damaged paint with swirl marks, any sort of other imperfections, if you want to fix them, what you need to do is you need to remove tiny layer of the damaged paint. So as you can see on this diagram here, that's how the paint would look like if you had it under microscope from the side. So as you can see, most of swirl marks are only minor percentage of the whole thickness of your paint. Holograms, buffer trails, they're even smaller. So the result of proper polishing is you removing that damaged paint and you have nice smooth paint with proper gloss and no imperfections. When it comes to your polishing kit, you also need to understand why do you use each part of that set. So you have polisher, you have your polishing pad, and you have your compound. Polisher is the tool that will give you motion for your polishing. Without it, you can't do the job. When it comes to compounds, compounds give you abrasivity and lubrication. That's all. There's no other magic compounds will do for you. And when it comes to pads, pad gives you only abrasivity. The biggest mistake most beginners do is they believe that one part of this set is going to change the results. Once they buy better pad or better compound or more expensive polisher, that's going to change everything for them. It doesn't work like that at all. When it comes to polishing, the technique is the most important first. After that, choice of the right polishing set is the second thing. So to recap this video up to now, what we've done, we have to consider the area we want to work at the time, and we want to make sure that we use the polisher properly so we maintain the rotary motion at all the time. So if you're looking for effective and efficient work, what you need to consider is you need to also consider another factors. Next one will be the speed of the polisher. So what is the proper speed when you doing machine polish and you try to correct the paint? Basically, also there is no simple answer for it, but what polishing is exactly, it's creating friction on the paint. So the more friction you will create on that paint, the quicker paint removal you will achieve. The less friction you will be going to gloss. If you have no friction, basically you'll be getting no results. At this point, I have to also mention that every car you'll be dealing with has different sort of hardness of the paint. In touch, of course, every one of them will kind of feel the same. However, when it comes to different brands or cars from different countries, when you start to do polishing, you will see that there is actually difference in that. So to give you a quick tip, when it comes to German cars, most of them have harder paints. Paints that require more work, more effort. Older Japanese cars, usually they're very soft. American cars, Korean cars, most of them are pretty soft. Medium paints, I would say, lots of Italian cars, they have sort of medium paints, nice to work with. So going back to the speed, if you're looking for quick imperfection removal, you need to apply more speed. This way you will create more friction. Of course, I'm not saying go to the highest possible speed of the machine, but go to the most practical one as possible. So what does it mean, the highest and the most practical speed? In real life, it means that you can comfortably operate the polisher without any pressure on you. You have to be in full control of the polisher. And if you notice that something is not working for you, or the polisher is giving weird noise, simply slow down the polisher. But when you're trying to finish off the car and you're not removing as much paint, only light minor imperfections like holograms or haze, then I would suggest sort of moderate speed, anything on this machine between 3 and 4. So now for practice, what I would suggest is play with different speeds, smaller, higher. Also, make sure you maintain the rotary motion all the time of this polisher. The next factor is your arm speed. So basically, if your arm speed is too fast when you're doing the polishing, you're not letting the polisher to do its job. It's about quality of passes, not quantity. If you work too slow, if you work extremely slow, what will happen, you will start to warm up the compound on the panel. In the results, the compound will start to dry out. You will see the dust on it, but the actual results will be that you will probably creating hazy finish on the paint. So what is the proper speed? Basically, when you move in the polisher from this side to this side, on section roughly 16 inches, what that should take you is anything between 7 to 12 seconds. So to get the speed by heart for yourself, what you should do is start from counting the seconds when you're doing the passes. Over time, this will become your second nature. Another factor you can use for your benefits is pressure that you apply on the polisher. If you want to increase sort of cutting level, what you need to do, you need to apply tiny bit of pressure. Don't apply too much, as that will slow down or stop the polisher, but apply tiny bit of pressure. That will increase the friction you create on the paint. No pressure also will work, especially with those polishers, but the tiny little bit of pressure is gonna speed up your work. And the last factor that is important in polishing, if you don't want to waste your time, is number of passes that you do when you do your set of passes. So from my experience, anything between 4 to 8 passes maximum is what we do. If within that many passes you're not getting the results, what you should do, you should definitely change over something. Maybe change a compound pad, maybe you should change your speed, maybe you should change pressure you apply. If it doesn't work within that many number of passes, there's definitely something wrong. So far I explained you the polishing. I broke it down to small parts. If you put all of them together, you will definitely get some sort of instant results. The next very important part of polishing you need to understand is you need to have control on what you're doing, and that's why you got your panel wipe in your kit. What is the panel wipe used for? Basically, after polishing, you should have two microfiber cloths where you remove your compound with force cloth, and then to remove the compound fully, as so far we only removed the heaviest residue of it, you use your panel wipe, spray it on the panel or onto the cloth, and the panel wipe will remove any sort of residue of compound that might be in the smallest imperfection. Basically, compounds, these days most compounds are designed to don't have fillers, don't hide imperfections. However, because the compound is pretty thick product and you pushing it with the polisher, you will push that compound into minor scratches, minor sort of holograms that you might leave within your polishing. That's why it's so important to remove that makeup from your paint. Now, once you remove the compound fully, you can use your torch and check the real results you achieved with your polishing. So here you can see condition of the paint before we done the polishing, and here we can see after polishing. So here the car maybe isn't the worst car I ever seen, just slight sort of moderate damage on it, but you've seen that I done a little bit only for sort of more for practice than trying to get the results, but I already got the results. I removed most of the imperfections from that little panel with medium compound and medium pad and small dual action polisher, and the level of gloss I achieved in there, it's pretty much perfect. So if you're looking for instant results when you do the job, you need to put in place the factors I shown you already. Now let me explain you how to pick the right combination for different sort of damages. There is no such a thing like recipe for every paint. That's why there is no way of me recommending you compound from this brand or that brand. Ideally, if you have minimum 2 different systems, like from this brand, from other brand, then if one compound is not doing exactly what you want, considering that you do the technique properly, then there is a good chance that if you use compound from different brand, it might just work. Producers of compounds, they have no way of creating compound that will fit perfectly into every job, considering heavy coat compounds, medium finishing compounds. There is too much of variety when it comes to cars. You have different hardness of the paint, you have different damage, then again everyone has different skill as well. So there's too many factors, and it's just simply impossible for anybody to make one product that will fit all the tasks. So now, moving forward, when you're looking for the proper combination that you should use to complete the whole car, what you need to do, you need to test the panel, its best potential, try to apply some pressure on it. For testing the panel, what I would suggest is always start from medium combination, medium pad, medium compound, and basically do what we've done already. Do like 4 to 8 passes on the section, roughly 16 by 16 inches. Use the speed to work slowly, put all the factors in, and see what happens after that set of passes. After the set of passes, wipe off the compound with microfiber cloth, then use panel wipe it off with second cloth, check with your torch, and then you can decide whether you're happy with the results or whether you need to change your polishing set to different one. So let me show you a couple of different examples what might happen after polishing and how I go about it to sort of find better combination for this paint. In this case, for example, the paint is hard, paint is pretty damaged. After medium combination, there's still lots of imperfections left over, so that means I need to reach out for heavier combination. So in this case, I go for heavy coat compound and heavy coat pad. Also, what I probably would do is I would try to probably apply a little bit of more pressure, maybe work a little bit slower with my arm movement, have the maximum speed of the polisher. All those factors will change the results to quicker imperfection removal. And in this example, also what that says to me is we're dealing with hard paint. And here we have another example where if we use medium compound, medium pad, and you see after you polishing that you actually leave in lots of hazy finish, sort of holograms, what that means is that this combination or the way we work is probably too hard for this paint. So that's why for the next set of passes, I'm gonna reduce something in there. And in this case also, what that indicates to me is that we're dealing with softer paint and the combination we used is basically a little bit too strong, or maybe we go with our method a little bit too hard. So to recap this video, I hope it will be helpful for you to start your polishing venture. Once you put in place all the factors, starting from the proper position of the polisher, maintaining the rotary movement, starting from right area, right size of area, right speed of the polisher, pressure, your arm speed, number of passes, then you can start to choose compounds, play with them, you put in place proper inspection, you check it what you have done, you go from that. You should be able to get results there that will make you happy. Also, bear in mind that when you start learning the polishing, you can't expect from yourself too much, so it depends also how much time you allow yourself to complete the jobs. As some of the cars could take hours and hours, some of them are easier to deal with. When you practice, when you put in place the skill that you learned and give it yourself time, practice on different types of paints, I'm sure over time this job will be actually very pleasant to work. So that's everything in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you lasted this long, I hope you find it beneficial for you. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions about detailing, or let me know if you got the kit and you find it handy to use, or let me know what you struggle with as well. I will try to help you out in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, make sure you do so you won't miss videos that I'm gonna publish in the next while, and see you on the next one.